He was trusted to protect public money. Instead, he protected his own interests. What does it take to buy influence in parliament? A handshake? A secret meeting? Sometimes all it takes is a car. This is the story of a powerful politician, a luxury Mercedes-Benz, and a scandal so corrupt it almost shattered South Africa's young democracy. In a democracy still finding its feet, trust in leaders can make or break a nation. And sometimes all it takes to unravel that trust is a luxury SUV. This is the story of Tony Yengeni, the ANC chief whip who helped negotiate South Africa's multi-billion rand arms deal. And the moment he accepted a discount so steep, it raised questions about corruption at the very top. But to understand how a man at the height of political power could risk everything for a luxury car, you have to go back to where he came from. Tony Yengeni was born in 1955 in Cape Town's tough streets of Gugulethu, a place where apartheid's iron grip meant poverty was not just common, it was enforced. Like so many other young men in his generation, he learned early that the system was stacked against him. He watched neighbors humiliated and families torn apart by police raids. He witnessed the relentless machinery of oppression, and it left a mark. It was here that Yengeni's political consciousness was forged. As a teenager, he joined the underground structures of the African National Congress. The struggle became his identity. He was arrested, harassed, and detained, but never broke ranks. To his comrades, he was a fighter with unshakable resolve. When democracy finally arrived in 1994, Yengeni was no longer just an activist. He was a leader. He quickly rose through the ANC's hierarchy, gaining a reputation as a skilled negotiator and a powerful voice in parliament. By the late 1990s, he held two of the most influential positions in South Africa's new democracy: Chief Whip of the ANC and chairperson of the Joint Standing Committee on Defence. From these seats, he would help oversee one of the largest spending sprees in the country's history, the multi-billion rand arms procurement deal. To many South Africans, Tony Yengeni embodied a new era of black leadership. Confident, unapologetic, determined to claim the privileges long denied to the majority. But for others, the line between empowerment and entitlement was starting to blur. And soon, it will all unravel over a shiny German SUV and the secrets it concealed. Power doesn't always corrupt overnight. Sometimes it seeps in, drop by drop, until the line between public duty and private gain disappears. In the late 1990s, South Africa's new democracy faced its biggest procurement ever. Billions of rands in contracts to modernize the military, fighter jets, submarines, and armored vehicles. Almost overnight, international defense companies descended on Pretoria, lobbying to secure their share. And while all this was happening in an official committee rooms, in quiet corners, relationships were forming. Relationships that blurred the difference between business and politics. Tony Yengeni, as chief of the Defense Committee, sat at the center of these negotiations. His position gave him immense influence over recommendations to Parliament. In 1998, Daimler-Benz South Africa, a part of the same German consortium bidding for the arms contracts, offered Yengeni a sleek Mercedes-Benz ML320. But this was no ordinary lease. Documents will later show he paid less than half the market price, receiving a 47% discount worth more than 150,000. To make it look legitimate, the arrangement was disguised as a normal financing agreement. No disclosure to Parliament, no record of the extraordinary benefit. When the paperwork was signed, no alarms rang, no headlines were printed. For a moment, it all looked like just another perk of the high office. But in a country still learning how to police its own democracy, this was a time bomb waiting to explode. March 2001, the Sunday Times drops a front-page story that sends shockwaves around South Africa. The article reveals how Tony Yengeni took delivery from a Mercedes-Benz 4x4 with a massive hidden discount, courtesy of a company chasing a government contract. Overnight, the ANC is in crisis management mode. Opposition MPs demand answers. Journalists flood Yengeni's office with questions. Under growing pressure, Yengeni holds a press conference. He insists the vehicle was financed legally and accuses the media of a witch hunt. But behind the scenes, the National Prosecuting Authority begins building a case. Investigators trace bank records, interview executives from Daimler Chrysler, and uncover emails confirming this discount. It's no longer a rumor, it's evidence. And the public, already wary of the massive arms deal, begins to wonder. If one of the most senior lawmakers could quietly pocket this benefit, what else was hidden behind closed doors? In 2003, Tony Yengeni walked into the Cape Town High Court to face justice. The charges were fraud and corruption. The trial exposed the details he worked so hard to keep secret. How the discount was negotiated, how the paperwork was structured, and how the benefit was never declared. For months, Yengeni denied everything. But in a dramatic turn, he accepted a plea bargain, admitting guilt on one count of fraud. The judge was clear. This was not a technical oversight. It was a deliberate act of deception by someone entrusted with public power. The sentence was 4 years in prison. But within months, Yengeni was released on parole after serving just over 120 days. To many South Africans, this felt like a slap on the wrist. But for Tony Yengeni, the scandal was far from over. In politics, the line between disgrace and redemption is sometimes surprisingly thin. After prison, Tony Yengeni remained a loyal member of the ANC. He was re-elected to the party's National Executive Committee, a move that stunned critics. For those who believed in ethical governance, this was proof that accountability was still negotiable. For others, it was a reminder of the ANC's enduring culture of solidarity, even when the public demanded consequences. Today, the Mercedes-Benz scandal is more than just a cautionary tale. It's a case study in how personal ambition can erode public faith, and how the pursuit of power sometimes comes with a price no luxury vehicle can ever repay. Tony Yengeni's story is a warning, a reminder that democracy is fragile and trust, once broken, is hard to rebuild. If you believe in holding power accountable, subscribe to Crime and Contention, share this video, and join the conversation on power, transparency, and justice. Thank you for watching. Until the next one, stay safe and take care.